The Sun Devils go down for the first time in 2018 here in San Diego. Welcome into the House Postgame Show. He's editor Brady Vernon. I'm Scotty Gange. As the Sun Devils lose 28-21 to the San Diego State Aztecs here in California. Brady, let's break down the most dramatic, pivotal, crazy, whatever word you want to use, moment of the game, the last 30 seconds. Frank Darby catches a ball right behind us here, is targeted in the head, and it's overturned later to say that he was down, and ASU throws a Hail Mary and is not able to tie the game. What were your thoughts, and really, what were your takeaways from those ridiculously crazy moments?
So somehow ASU got the ball back after a fumble where Chase Jasmine should have gone down and sealed the game. Instead, ASU gets the ball back, I think, on their 23-yard line. Wilkins scrambles, finds Frank Darby to get the midfield. 3 straight incompletions, and then Wilkins finds Darby deep. The ball's a little bit underthrown, goes about the 4-yard line. Darby jumps, makes the catch, and we're like, what? And then flags come from everywhere. Find out it's targeting. They go review it to see if he's ejected. Well, we get the call from the umpire that he was ejected, but that Darby also didn't complete the catch. So got 1st and 10, Wilkins heaves it again, but nothing to come of it. And so there's just a lot of crazy moving parts, and say what you should, but ASU could have been in a better position than what they were. So that play doesn't determine this game.
Yeah, we'll definitely touch on that and how they should have been and could have been in a better position throughout the game. But it was a very confusing moment as we thought the umpires and referees went back to check to see if the player on San Diego State was to be ejected, which he was, but then they kind of pulled a rabbit out of the hat and said it was an incompletion as well. And of course, the Sun Devils lost 28-21 in what could have been a dramatic finish from the 6-yard line. But I want to take you back to the second quarter, and this game was, of course, all about momentum, and probably, except for this last piece, the biggest momentum swing of the game was Herm Edwards on 4th and 1, decides to go for it instead of kicking a field goal to go up 10. What really ensued after that play where ASU was stuffed on the 4th and 1?
Well, on the 4th and 1 call, they decided to do kind of a screen swing pass. It's covered immediately. Wilkins gets sacked. SU gets the ball back with a little bit over a minute. So instead of getting the points going up by 10, SDSU drives down the field, ties it at 14 with a very long touchdown drive, and that just wasn't the right decision. When you're a young team like this, you're on the road for the first time this season, take the points, go up in the halftime, up 2 scores. You have all the momentum. You're getting the ball back in the second half. You kind of killed yourself. You shot yourself in the foot. You gave them the decision, and when they got in the second half, it was just all SDSU.
Yeah, it really was. For the first 26 minutes or so, SDSU dominated the second half. They put up 14 points as ASU just had 9 yards through really, the first 95% of that. ASU was able to come down and hurry up offense, score a touchdown right behind us to N'Keal Harry, and of course the madness that happened afterwards. But speaking on momentum in this game, of course, but also next week, ASU is heading up to Seattle. Is it time to worry now losing to SDSU, who, should I say, lost to Sacramento State last week and now having to play one of the best teams in the country in Washington?
Yes, because they're the Pac-12 favorites. The first 2 wins were wins. All happy-go-lucky. They weren't perfect. There was a lot of things. A lot of things showed tonight. Sustaining drives was a problem. We saw that again. You can't go do that against a top 10 team in their home turf, or ASU's not going to score a whole lot of points. And when you can't sustain drives, we saw tonight the defense got tired in a hurry. A lot of those runs that were 8-10 yards became 15-17. It wears down. It's a correlation of the two. And on the road in a much tougher place against a much tougher team, you're not going to have a 1-score game.
Yeah, you talk about ASU struggling on the run game. The team that didn't struggle in the run game was San Diego State. They exploited every single inch and nick and cranny of that ASU so-called #1 rush defense in the country defense. And it was Jawan Washington. It was really the entire unit, as you talked about. What went wrong for ASU's defense tonight?
Like I said, I think in the second half they just got tired. They switched out of Washington and gave Chase Jasmine some carries. In the second half, he was fresh. SDSU was just going to run the ball. We all knew that. Donnell Pumphrey did it. Rashad Penny used to do it. It's going to happen. And we weren't going to see like a stagnant 50 yards or less performance from the ASU defense again. It just wasn't going to happen. But they just couldn't get off the field in certain moments, and I think that relates to the offense not being able to sustain drives. And that's good and dandy, try to make up next week, but this is a team that had plenty of holes last year rushing, and a lot of those guys are very young, and can they get over this is going to be the biggest thing, especially going to a tough opponent. Can they reset to what Michigan State and UTSA was? So we'll have to see. We have plenty to learn about this team still.
Yeah, really only time will tell if the Sun Devils can bounce back from tonight's loss, 28-21 against the San Diego State Aztecs. Here in San Diego, one more time for the House postgame show. He's Brady Vernon. I'm Scotty Gange.